Welcome to this week's coffee chat. It is Keely's birthday. Happy birthday, Keely. How are you doing on your fine birthday?
I'm good, thank you. It's still early. I haven't opened anything apart from a card from my husband and this present from my sister. Thank you, Hannah. This is a gorgeous hoodie which says the golden rule is love. And it's designed by Nick and Becky Drake, so a bit of a free ad there. They are the Worship for Everyone amazing couple up at Gas Street who do songs for kids and worship for everyone, literally, and they've got some new merchandise that they've designed, t-shirts for kids and hoodies, and I didn't know I was getting this, but it's amazing and beautiful, I love it.
So, and it is very trendy.
Very trendy, so thank you Nick and Becky Drake for doing a great job, and thank you Hannah for buying it me.
I'm also wearing a trendy cable knit jumper.
Very trendy.
Thank you. Not quite as trendy.
Not as trendy as mine.
No, but hey.
No, and I've got an appearance of my new Levi's jumper. So
we are just
product placement.
We're gonna do.
These cups are available from Asda. 3 foot. No.
We need to start doing a fashion.
Yeah, we're influencers now. We're actually
influencers. Yeah, of course. Keely, I like to reflect on my birthday, so I'm gonna give you a chance to reflect.
Okay.
What's been your favourite thing that's happened in this past year?
Well, obviously lots of rubbish things, but the one thing that obviously has been amazing for me and us is that we had a granddaughter, so our second grandchild, but we had a little girl called Evelina in July, so that was a lovely highlight in the middle of the year.
Yeah. And what are you looking forward to in your coming year?
Oh, I'm looking forward to everyone being vaccinated and hope returning and whatever normality is going to look like. I'm looking forward to it and not being locked down and that we can't see people that we love. And just the bustling place of Riverside coming back. So I'm looking forward to spring as well. I just want to get winter done and but I'm sure it's going to be a better year next year.
Kind of normality. We're all looking forward to it. We're all ready for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, this last Sunday, just gone, Sam, you spoke brilliantly
on
light in the darkness. But before we even go into any of it,
yes,
I want to know about your time as a thief.
Yes, I publicly confessed on Sunday I stole a flashing...
You publicly confessed to me last week for the first time. Because I didn't know.
Yes, I'll be confessing. I mean, the Lord's...
Keely's horrified.
I'm just confessing everything these days. I was so infatuated with lights as a child, a young person, pre-Jesus.
How old are we talking?
About 45. No, seriously, I was probably 45. I'd imagine in my early teens, maybe 12 or 13.
Oh, he was 10 yesterday.
Yeah, it's going up, isn't it?
At what age are you responsible for anything? I find a bit of a watershed. No, I was so infatuated with all things that light up and lights. I wanted to have my own flashing light, so I got my eye on a flashing work light that was on a cone at the bottom of our road. So I cycled up my bike with my rucksack on and kind of sort of borrowed it long term to have a look at it.
Borrowed it long term and then gave it back, yeah?
I don't have to give it back. No. And the battery probably ran out, so I couldn't give it back. But I sort of liberated a road light from its life on the cone to a much more fulfilling life in my...
So what did you do with this stolen light?
Well, I've got a fascination about taking things apart and finding out how they work. So I took it apart and took all its bits out and then basically repurposed it for something else. So it had a very big square battery, I remember.
Sounds very clever for a young teenager.
Well, I was an engineer very early on. I used to take all things apart and try and put them together again.
That is true.
And so, I was just fascinated how it worked. But I couldn't... What didn't sound silly was that there was no off switch on this thing, so I couldn't turn it off. And what you need is a very long, thin stick to poke up inside it to turn it off, and that's how you turn them off. And I didn't obviously have that with me when on my mission of liberation.
You didn't have that knowledge, really, did you?
I didn't have that inner knowledge of how to turn this thing off, so I actually tried to get this thing past my parents and anybody else who...
And they didn't notice at all?
I think in those days, television was so gripping, that they were just wrapped properly over something like the 9 o'clock news or I don't know, or One Man and His Dog. Even, and I just sort of kind of crept by with this flashing orange light, bing, bing. So,
wow.
Yeah. Mom and Dad, I'm so sorry if you're watching this. I'm reformed.
I'm reformed. Great. You talked about something called compassionate mindfulness. See, now we know you like lights.
Yeah.
And you like, we've got lights in front of us. And you would talk about how you looking at lights might be compassionate mindfulness. Do you want to explain what
I describe this very simple. I bought a set of lights back in the summer and they've become a bit of a focal point for me. And I kind of use them as a way to kind of stop and reflect and in a sense, be kind to myself. I think one of the hardest things we ever do is try and be kind to ourselves. And I was sharing this idea with a friend, and he said, I think you're practicing what's called compassionate mindfulness. You're taking time to sort of really sort of, I think it's almost like marinating your emotions. So the things that happen to you, you can kind of imbibe them a little bit deeper, and I think they can create a sense of sort of abiding joy. So happiness comes and goes, and emotions come and go, but I think if we stop and kind of soak in them for a while, we can really deepen our sort of our emotional base and enjoy things longer. And so for me, the lights are just an opportunity to stop and look and reflect on the simple things in life, the things in the past that have brought me joy, the things in the future that might bring me joy. So yeah, the compassionate part of mindfulness is actually being kind to yourself, and that's the thing that we struggle, I think, to do. We struggle to let ourselves off the hook.
So at the end of the day, do you go outside and look at these lights for a while?
I did in the summer, but now it's cold. I can just put a chair. We've got a lot of glass across the back of our house. So I can just put a chair in the window. And in fact, when these lights aren't on, I feel kind of sad. So I go and flick them on, and I can just sit there. And I don't even necessarily have to stare at them. They're just there, glowing in the darkness. And I might have a book. I might just be sitting with a drink. And it's just an opportunity to pause, reflect on the day, reflect on life, kind of process emotion. And I think kind of allow, because often we're so busy on to the next thing, we don't take time to stop and actually say, how can I kind of marinate in what's happened today? Because we're so busy with our lists and our next things and our bigger and better that we don't often stop, I think, and actually say, let's just take some time to enjoy what happened, and even just to say well done to ourselves. I think it's something we don't often do. You know, we say well done to ourselves, and to experience that emotion is really important.
So question to both of you, how can we this Christmas be kind to ourselves?
I think take some time to stop and reflect on the year that we've had. Everybody's had a tough time. Whatever you've gone through, there will have been tough points in it because it's been a global pandemic, and I don't think anybody's escaped some kind of toughness in this. You know, that you've a tough situation with not seeing family or work situation. Everybody would have experienced some kind of loss at some point this year, and I think being kind is stopping and acknowledging that and saying it's okay, and just taking some time to do something for yourself, maybe go on a walk, and just think about that and acknowledge that it's okay, and process it out and do something that's kind, and not try and, you know, just be strong and think I can't feel like that, I need to just have got through this year, and actually think, no, it's been rubbish. But also look forward with hope, because I think you need to bring some hope into when you go down and reflect on hard stuff. You know, remember Jesus, remember the reason for Christmas, and that there is hope in the vaccine, yes, but in Jesus more.
And I think I said yesterday, I think the important thing is to let yourself off the hook. I use this analogy of trying to navigate in darkness. You know, to walk in darkness is hard. And I shared that story when I crashed in the fog and thought I could see further than I could. And I think acknowledging where we can't see ahead to a large degree. We have to let ourselves off the hook in terms of what we normally expect of ourselves and our productivity and our ability to make progress. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do is we're very good at letting each other off the hook, but we find it very hard to let ourselves off the hook. And so part of that compassionate mindfulness, I think, is actually being kind to yourself and saying, actually, you know, I'm going to let myself off the hook where I feel like I may have not made the progress I wanted to this year. And I think that's a very important thing, because that interior critical voice that we all have can be the loudest one we hear sometimes. So allowing God to speak his unconditional love in is a really important part of I think, well-being generally.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Great. So this is probably our last coffee chat before Christmas. So have a great Christmas.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in January.
Absolutely. Have a great Christmas, guys.